Welcome back to another episode. I'm doing something a little bit different today. I'm not in the most ideal recording space, but I have no time during the day anymore to record the podcasts while I'm at home alone. So the next best option is to sit in my car and park somewhere and record from here. So I'm currently parked on the top floor of a parking garage because I just came back from the gym. The gym has been sort of a new thing for me. I think it's been like my third week here, and I've been going pretty consistently. Don't know how to use half of the weight machines there. Like, I'm just too scared to even touch them. So I've sort of decided that I'm just going to stick with my Stairmaster / treadmill routine and call it a day because it's just way less intimidating. Anyways, so I was just at the gym, and as I was about to leave, I decided to go to the bathroom to wash my hands because gym equipment is questionable. And when I was in the bathroom, this girl came in, and I knew this girl. I totally knew this girl because we went to high school together. We were on the same sports team together, and she looked at me for like maybe half a second and then looked away, and I don't think she recognized me at all, which I was just really shocked because I felt like we knew who each other were back in high school. I totally knew who she was. We sort of talked in the midst of when I was on the sports team. So I was very surprised. Either she hates me and gave me a half a second glance, but I think I would be more correct to say that she just had no clue who I was, which, I don't know, that just shocked me a little bit. But that happened, and then I dipped because I felt really awkward, which then reminded me of this other encounter that I had pretty recently too. A few weeks ago, I went to my friend's birthday party, and at this friend's party, there were a lot of people from high school. Not just high school, but again, that same sports team. And so I arrived with a few of my friends, and we walked in together, and then this one guy comes up because he was close with my friends, and he says hi to all of us, and he hugs each of us, and when it gets to my turn, and he hugs me, this man says, "Nice to meet you." And I'm like, we ate lunch together in high school. Like, we were on the same sports team. We were friends. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was offended. I was very offended when that happened because I was like, am I that easy to forget? Apparently I am. Apparently I'm that easy to forget. I don't think I'm unrecognizable. Like, people say that I look the same from when I was in high school. So I was just, again, a little bit in shock and maybe slightly taken aback by the fact that nobody freaking remembered my face or my name or anything. So those two incidents sort of lead me into what I want to talk about today. The first topic I want to talk about is basically, why are we so concerned about what everybody thinks? And then the second one is meeting new people. Because I feel like for me, those sort of go hand in hand. You know, all my life I've been scared of meeting new people. I've had a lot of social anxiety. I've dealt with it all. And a majority of that anxiety and stress and whatnot come from the fact that I'm just scared of how people perceive me. People's opinions, I mean, everybody's going to have opinions at the end of the day. Not everybody's going to like you, and that's perfectly fine. And I can say that, and I can understand it. But for some reason, I've just let people's opinions of me eat me up. And then over the years, I'm like, wait, if they think I'm stupid, or they think I'm awkward, or they think I'm rude, like, it's the end of the world, so it's better not to initiate conversation and put myself out there and meet new people. That's sort of the mindset that I've always had. I've had it for a very long time, and right now I'm trying to overcome that because it's like, why am I so concerned about what everybody thinks? Especially thinking about the last two examples that I gave. It's like two people that I attended high school with for 4 years, people who were my acquaintances / friends, people who shared the same friend groups, people I used to eat lunch with, people I used to hang out with on the weekends. people I was in the same clubs with. It's like not even they remember, you know? So while I'm over here all concerned about what everybody's thinking of me, or, you know, I'm like, okay, people from my past probably hate me, so they never want to talk to me again. Like, in reality, nobody actually cares about me and nobody remembers me, and like, that's that. And I think I need to realize that, like, hey, I'm not the star of the show. You know what I mean? Like, as much as I fear that I'm the topic of people's conversations when they're gossiping with their friends, I don't think that's reality. And I have to let that tap into my brain, because it's sort of a fear that's holding me back. I'm like, wait, if I really put myself out there and really meet new people, are they going to judge me and hate me forever? Like, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. If my high school acquaintances don't have a freaking clue who I am, then nobody else is really going to care that deeply about the interaction. I've sort of hit this point where after this whole breakup thing happened, I'm realizing that for the first time in a very, very, very long time, or even ever, I've never been so alone. And I'm not saying that in a sad way, like, oh, I'm so lonely. I mean, it is lonely, but I'm saying I've never been so alone in the sense that for the past 4 years, I haven't been my own independent person, because that relationship, I don't want to get into it, but it was just very codependent, and I learned how to live with someone else and rely on someone else all the time. My friends are also abroad right now. They've been gone for quite a while and will be gone for many more months. And, you know, my sister's off in college. Between all of that and working remote, I find that life does get pretty quiet sometimes. And it's nice sort of living in solitude sometimes. You know, you get to be in your own thoughts, you get to vibe, you get to do your own thing. But it's just very different. It's like not what I'm completely used to. And it really got me thinking about, like, so many life changes have happened in such a short period of time. Like, here's an opportunity for me to sort of overcome that fear of meeting new people and really put myself out there. Old me would have never, ever in a million years wanted to meet anybody or, you know, initiate conversation with a stranger. But me today is like, okay, I'm in my 20s and, like, I'm still young. I can still foster new relationships and make new friends and meet new people. And it's something I've always wanted to do, honestly. But again, social anxiety, it's like your biggest fears hold you back. So now's the time to do it. Like, while I'm feeling motivated, I just want to really try to put myself out there. Now, all of that is a lot easier said than done. Like, I can be like, hey, I want to meet people. But then it got me thinking, where do I actually meet people? The action of meeting people, I feel like seems really hard. I mean, when you think about it at a high level, it's like, okay, you can introduce yourself to anybody, start a conversation, and that's fine. But then when I start thinking about it a little bit more, I'm like, everywhere I go, nobody looks approachable, which is completely understandable because that's how I look too. Like, I, for the longest time, never looked approachable. Biggest resting bitch face ever. Didn't make eye contact, hood on, didn't look around, headphones in. Like, I didn't want to be bothered by anyone. And it's perfectly fine if nobody else wants to be bothered by anyone either. That's the hard thing, though. It's just like, where are those people who want to meet other people? Even in a big city, like where I'm from, it's just, meeting people, difficult. You know, I'm not one to go on, like, the dating apps or Bumble BFF simply because I have no good photos of me to put on there, and also feel like people on there are kind of sus sometimes. I'm definitely not like a meet people on the apps kind of person. I'm very much a meet people organically type of person, but that really requires you to put yourself out there and to get off your butt and get out of the house, which it's hard. I mean, getting out of the house is hard. As lame as that sounds, sometimes it's nice to just live in the own comfort of your home and watch Netflix and do your chores alone and blast music alone and Instacart all of your groceries. But recently I've been trying to get out of the house more for things like again, grocery shopping or gymming. Like, I've been going to the gym more than usual just to sort of put myself out into the world. You never know what's going to happen or who you're going to meet, who you're going to run into. Could be good, could be bad, but you never know unless you leave the house. And I've also been doing just a lot more things alone, because when you're with people and you're going out, it's kind of hard to want to initiate conversation with new people. But when you're alone, it sort of forces you to either be alone or to have that conversation with somebody, and you're just more aware. You're not distracted by your friends around you. You're just more aware of, all the strangers walking by, all the individuals doing their own thing. One of the new things that I've done was go to concerts alone. I know tons of people do this already. I'm late to the game. This was my first time going to 2 different concerts alone. One was Keshi and the other was Sabrina Carpenter. And at both concerts, I met people who were super nice and like super great to talk to. Like when I was at the Keshi concert, a group of people sat down next to me, and at first I was like, okay, I'm not going to talk to them. Like they all have their group already. They're all talking to each other. But then, I probably won't ever see these people again. So I hyped myself up enough to start a conversation. And it actually went really well. Like their whole group was really nice. Turns out one person from their group went to the college I went to. Like he was also going through the same situation that I was going through at the time. So it was just like, it was a vibe. And I ended up just watching the show with them. And it was nice sort of having stranger company. You know what I mean? Like they don't know anything about your past. They only know what they're seeing in the moment. And it was just a vibe. There is no judgment about you or your past or anything like that. It was really just a vibe. I also went to the Sabrina Carpenter concert, and this girl sitting next to me was also really cool. I wanted to start conversation with her, but I was just really scared because she was on her phone the whole time. So I was like, okay, it looks like she does not want to start a conversation. But then she started a conversation with me. So, and it was great. Like we also were going through the same thing and crying and listening to her music. And that sort of goes to show, I think, even if people look unapproachable, they want to talk. Everybody's shy. I mean, I look like the most unapproachable person even when I do want to talk to people. I just tend to get caught up like looking at my phone because, I get scared and everything. But reality is, I think there are just a lot more people who do want to meet new people and put themselves out there and foster new relationships than it actually seems. But they're out there. It's just hard to detect because we all are shy to some extent, have anxiety to some extent. And I think that's why it's important to be the one to make the first move. Because a lot of the times, the other people aren't going to be the first ones to put themselves out there. We're all scared. But you never know what's going to happen unless, you put yourself out there. That's just really what I'm trying to get past right now. I'm trying to get past being the first person to initiate that conversation. Now, conversations, kind of awkward for me. I still need to learn how to conversate with strangers, but I did see this TikTok, which I loved, because the person was basically like, if you see someone and you want to compliment them, don't hold it back. Just do it. Because holding that compliment back is really just doing a disservice to them. If it's a good compliment, like that person is going to remember it. It's going to make their day. And it's a chance for you to try to initiate conversation, It's a chance for you to work on your social anxiety. And even if conversation doesn't happen, hey, you practiced putting yourself out there. This also brings me to sort of just this random thought. At the gym, I saw this man. And this man was someone that I also recognized yet again from my sports team. I never talked to this guy, but I did recognize him. And I'm like, okay, there is no chance he remembers me. But then that gives me the opportunity to be like, what if I just go up and say hi and ask if he was on the team in high school just for fun, put myself out there a little bit. And of course, I had the opportunity to do it the other day and I got too scared and I just chickened out and didn't do it. But again, trying to combat that, I feel like if I say hi, one of three things could happen. He could think I'm completely weird and random and never speak to me again, which is then fine because we didn't really know each other in the first place. So, like, what does his opinion matter, right? Second, we could become acquaintances, start saying hi in the gym. When you recognize someone, you're just like, hello. Third, you can actually get to know the person. So it's like, one of three things could happen. None of those options are really bad. Why should I be scared? And that's sort of what I've been telling myself. So that's where I am right now. That's kind of just what I wanted to talk about. It's going to take some time to put myself out there, but I definitely see progress, and I feel like it's sort of a basic human thing to do, and I'm just late to the bandwagon, so I'm going to work on that. But yeah, that is my topic for today's podcast. Thank you guys for listening. I hope we can embark on this meeting new people journey together. Like, if you see someone that you want to initiate conversation with, think of me in your head, just being like, do it. It doesn't matter. Nobody's going to care at the end of the day. You got this, I got this, we got this. Okay. So that's where I am on my, I guess, healing girl era journey type of thing right now. I am going to go home. I hope you guys have a fantastic, wonderful, lovely day. And I will see you guys next time with another episode of Young Adult Problems. Bye.